Okay, so let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Can anyone confirm, please?
Yes, yes, visible.
Thanks for that. So let's quickly go through the yesterday what we have discussed. Okay, so some might be new to this class. Okay, so yesterday we have discussed about my introduction and some of the course content we have discussed, like what are the different topics that we are covering in this course, and we have discussed what are the some of the prerequisites that are required, and we have discussed like what is Docker and Kubernetes, the importance of Docker and Kubernetes in the IT industry, and we have discussed about the DevOps, what is meant by DevOps, and what is actually meant by dev and operations, what comes under dev and what comes under operations, and we have discussed about the what is an application and SDLC process we have discussed, and where does our Docker and Kubernetes fits in SDLC process, that also we discussed, and we have discussed about the what is server. Okay, and the next part we have discussed about the virtualization thing. So what are the in the previous time how the people used to deploy the applications on the physical servers, and if we deploy the applications on physical servers, what are the disadvantages we have. Okay, we have discussed that one. Because of those disadvantages that we have if we deploy like on the physical servers, there is a way to go to the virtualization to solve those disadvantages. So now we have seen entire like physical server is divided into multiple servers. Those are called virtual machines or virtual servers, and we have seen like there is a hypervisor software or any virtualization software that will help us to divide that one, and we have seen what are the disadvantages that we have if we deploy our applications on the virtual machines. Okay, up to there we have seen, and let us go further today. If anyone are new today, and I suggest that there is a YouTube video uploaded in the playlist in the YouTube DurgaSoft channel. You can go through that, please. Okay, so these are all the things which I've discussed, which I've mentioned before. These are all the things we have discussed yesterday, actually. So yeah, yesterday we have discussed this one, physical servers, and we deploy application on the physical servers. If these are the disadvantages that we have if we deploy our application on the physical servers, and this is a virtualization, how the applications are deployed on the virtual machines, and these are called virtualization. Now we have also discussed what are the disadvantages that we have if we deploy our applications on the virtual machine. What are those disadvantages? Resource wastage is still there, and the evolution of microservices. Okay, because of these two reasons we go for Docker, actually. So first one is resource wastage. Now how the Docker is structured in this diagram. Now instead of taking entire physical machine, I will take in the diagram only one virtual machine that will be present in the physical machine only. Okay, now let me take that virtual machine. Okay, this is the virtual machine. Okay, it's not physical machine, this is a virtual machine. This is a physical server. External layer which we discussed in the earlier diagram is a physical server, but here I am taking that virtual server, and this virtual server will be on top of physical server only, in like this. Okay, like this in the left side diagram. Okay, so this is the virtual machine. Let me take this. Okay, VM. Okay, virtual machine or virtual server, anything you can think of. Okay, for this VM we have three CPUs. Let us think. Three CPUs are there, 3 GB memory is there. Okay, three CPUs and 3 GB RAM or memory is there. So now how the Docker is structured in this virtual machine. Okay, on like here we have a guest operating system inside the virtual machine. There is something called operating system. It's a guest operating system, we call it as. So it might be any operating system. Like let's think, let me put as a whole operating system, OS. Okay, on top of this OS, we will run, we will install some software, something called Docker. Okay, we will install a software that is called Docker. Okay, let me put it as here, Docker. Okay, we will install software called Docker. Okay, what this Docker helps us to do? Docker will help us to run our applications as containers. Okay, as containers, because like what is the use you are going to get uh if you run your applications as containers, means better resource usage. Okay, better resource usage you are going to get, like because of the evolution we saw. See, because previously there is used to have a standalone applications or monolithic applications, I mean to say. So because of those disadvantages that we have with the monolithic applications, microservices are evolved. Because of these microservices, the Docker is evolved. Okay, that is Docker. This Docker will help us to run our applications as containers. What is container? What is a Docker image? That we'll discuss, but let's think it will allow us to use the better resource wastage. Now this is our app one. Okay, this is our application one. Let's think of, okay, this is our app one. Okay, now this, if you see here, this virtual machine or virtual server has 3 CPUs and 3 GB memory, right? This virtual machine has 3 CPUs and 3 GB memory. But if your application uses, one CPU, let's think one CPU is used by your application and 1 GB memory is used by your application. Okay, 1 GB memory is used by your application one, application number one, I mean to say. Now you have remaining 2 CPUs and 2 GB memory. Now that also can be used, can be used by the other application. Okay, so you can also deploy other application in the same virtual machine, like this app 2. Okay, now this application 2 will be using remaining, what is the remaining out of 3 CPUs and 3 GB? 2 CPUs and 2 GB are remaining. Now let's think 2 CPUs and 2 GB memory is being used by this application. You here, in case of Docker, you will be getting better resource usage. Okay, you can use entire resource properly, and if you use entire resource properly, cost will be less, maintenance will be less, all such advantages you are going to get. Okay, such kind of things you are going to get here. If you want to deploy 3 applications, we need 3 virtual machines. But here, if you want to deploy multiple applications, you can deploy multiple applications on a single virtual machine using Docker. Okay, now what are this also requires CPU and this also requires memory, right? All the applications which are running requires CPU and memory. That will be taken from virtual machine, the CPU and the memory allocated to the virtual machine. Okay, so this is Docker. This is the better resource wastage usage you are going to get with the help of Docker. And the, let's think microservices. I hope you already people know, but let's think one more time. Okay, so let's discuss one more time microservices. Okay, now if you go to microservices, previously there will be a monolithic application. Okay, so yeah, let me take a new. So this is the monolithic application. Let's think this is an application of Amazon.in. Okay, let me think that. Okay, let me take a text box, and this is the Amazon.in. Okay, so that's the Amazon.in application. This Amazon.in application contains many functionalities, right? It contains many functionalities. Okay, well, let me list some of the functionalities. We cannot list all the functionalities. Let me list some of the functionalities. Okay, payments. Okay, payments is one of the functionality. Okay, payments is one of the functionality. Now clothing is one of the functionality. Okay, clothing is one of the functionality. Electronics is one of the functionality. Okay, if you go to clothing, all the cloth will be shown. Electronics means all the electronics will be shown. Okay, electronics is one of the other one. And there are many functionalities like this in the Amazon.in application. Okay, previous times there will be there will be something called monolithic applications. Okay, monolithic application. Okay, if this is a monolithic application, suppose this payments related functionality in this Amazon.in application will support few banks. Okay, few banks means, let's think ICICI and HDFC or SBI, whatever it is. If any new bank has come into the market, let's think a new bank called ABC has come into the market. Okay, this ABC bank payments also should be accepted by the Amazon.in application. Let's think that it should also support this ABC functionality, ABC bank functionality, to allow the users to pay with this ABC bank for this small change. And this small change is also related to the payments only, but it is not related to clothing, and it is not related to electronics. Okay, for this small change, they should they like for this small change, entire application should be restarted in the production as well as development or whatever environment it is, because this entire application, payments functionality, clothing functionality, electronic functionality, is developed as a single application. Okay, so if one functionality has been changed, entire application should be restarted. If the application takes 20 minutes to restart, okay, if it restarted also, it is not confirmed that it will work in a good manner. Okay, there may be bugs. Okay, if let's think this application takes 20 minutes to restart. Okay, if application takes 20 minutes to restart, how much the big impact for this business, let's think of. Okay, that is a huge business impact for them. They will lose their customers, right? So because of this reason, the microservices, this is one of the reasons. There are many reasons, but let's stick to this. Okay, so microservices got evolved. Okay, in this microservices, what the people did is, payments is developed as separate application, and the clothing related functionality is developed as separate application, and the electronic goods related functionality is developed as separate application. Now there will be communication between these applications, there will be communication between these applications, because if some customer has like buy the clothes, okay, they need to do payments, this functionality should be able to talk to this functionality. And someone bought like electronic goods, okay, to do payments, this electronic goods application should be talking to payments application. Now they will be talking to each other, there will be communication between each other. Okay, let me name them. So there will not be any confusion. Okay, payments, and this is clothing. Okay, and this is let's think, electronics. Now what will happen is, if you want to add ABC bank now in the payments, in the case of microservices, no need of restarting other two applications, only payment application should be restarted. That too very minimal amount of time it takes. It only takes 10 seconds in Kubernetes, not even 10 seconds, immediately it comes up. Okay, so let's think it's 5 seconds. If I not only 5 seconds, it's only 1 or 2 seconds in Kubernetes. Let's, as of now, let's think 5 seconds. Okay, now you can observe the change from 20 minutes of restart to 5 seconds of restart. So it's a huge change that we are going to get in the microservices. Because of this microservices, the Docker is evolved, the Docker has been popular actually. So how this microservices uses Docker? Okay, here each application, this is payment application, clothing application, and the electronic goods application, were converted as Docker images. Okay, Docker images. Okay, now all the three were converted as Docker images actually, and this Docker images is stored somewhere in the Docker registry, and they are used to deploy applications like payment application, clothing application, and electronic application to on the servers, or in the Kubernetes cluster, let's think of. Okay, so this is how the Docker has been popular. Okay, now any questions you have here, please? Any questions you have?
Sir, I have a question. I've joined 15 minutes late today. Sorry for the inconvenience. So can I get this lecture in YouTube or anywhere else? Also, it is broadcasting right now.
No, it will be there in the YouTube after 1 or 2 hours after the class get completed. You can
Okay.
make that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so you can you just come to that latest diagram that we have shown?
Microservices thing. Okay. Yeah.
So here actually you mentioned about the microservices. So so by going with the microservice architecture, it is quite handy to maintain the environment like about the time factor if we are actually adding any new feature, right?
Yeah.
So without using the Docker images, like
Mhm.
how exactly the time factor will be affected in order to the way actually we are doing manually.
Without using Docker, if you deploy applications, what is the time factor that will be there? You are
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
okay. Without using Docker, the time factor will also be same because they are deployed as individual applications. Okay, the time factor I have taken as an example with the help of Docker, but Docker gives extra fun, not only time factor. So there are many disadvantages that we have with monolithic, not only time factor, but Docker also solves all of those. Look, it gives a better visibility to our applications, and it gives better insights to our applications, and it gives metrics how much amount of 400 requests are coming, like how, see the much traffic will be coming to your application, right? So how much requests are successful, 200 requests, or how much requests are failures, 503, 401 unauthorized. Okay, so 403 forbidden. So such kind of requests you can easily visualize, you can easily visualize with the help of Kubernetes. So many such functionalities are there with the Docker. This is one of the example I took, because if you deploy without Docker also, that takes going to take the same. Okay, because you developed as individual applications. But yeah, but Docker way is a fast way to deploy applications without any downtime. Okay, so if you follow any other way, there will be some or other downtime, but it is also very less. But Docker is a way, it follows like very less amount of downtime, I mean to say.
Actually, still I don't understand exactly like why we need the Docker actually, because without using the Docker also we are able to achieve the what actually we want. By using the microservice architecture.
Uh-huh.
But again, one more thing I just wanted to ask, like once we done with the Docker images, now we are actually deploying all those images into the different environment, right?
Yes.
So probably, let's say, as per your example, uh, after that, this payment, clothing, and electronics. Let's say some fourth application as a microservice we need to introduce into our applications. So
Mhm.
don't you think that we need to again recreate the images, the Docker images again, and then we do that particular images need to be deployed in that particular environment again and again?
Yes, it should be deployed again and again. If suppose you
So don't you think that the time factor will vary in that particular process?
no, time factor will not be very not much actually. It will be very less. Okay, so it completely depends on your development. Suppose if you developed a application, and this application version is v1.0, and after this is converted as Docker image, and this is deployed to the Kubernetes cluster, or like it is converted as Docker image, and it is deployed to the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, now tomorrow you changed this application and you have made it as 2.0. Okay, you have made it as 2.0, v 2.0. It also takes the same time to deploy our application to the Kubernetes cluster actually. So it does not depend on the application, like it immediately starts. If you don't have any bugs or anything that is there in your application, that it will not have any time factor. Okay, so because you are developed as individual applications, there will be having very less functionality in your application, so that time factor will not be affecting your application, like your deployment or any downtime will not be there if you deploy the Kubernetes in the Kubernetes cluster. Okay.
So you said about the Kubernetes also, right? Do you think that if we go with the Docker environment, we
Mhm.
also need to have the Kubernetes as well?
Yes, doc Kubernetes internally uses Docker. Okay, if you create a Kubernetes cluster, if you go to Kubernetes cluster and if you go to the servers of the Kubernetes cluster, that internally uses Docker, that there will be a Docker running inside that, or not only Docker, any container runtime engine that is supported by that Kubernetes which you installed. Okay, if you create kubedium way of that will install Calico. Okay, that's also runtime engine, so that requires Docker. Okay, so yeah, but Kubernetes gives like extra functionality, like better management, better visibility, better metrics collection, better logs collection, and many other functionality that we see in the Kubernetes.
So is it mandatory, like if we use Docker container, then we need to also have a Kubernetes also?
Yes,
Is
it's
it
mandatory.
mandatory?
It's mandatory because nowhere Docker individually is used. Okay, it is used with the help of Kubernetes only.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
for
Yeah.
problems which are for problems which you are going to get in Kubernetes clusters, you need to know Docker and containers things. So that's the thing.
Okay. I mean, one more thing, just what actually I was meant to ask the first question, like the way actually that microservice architecture application being deployed without using the Docker, what exactly the problem they are facing? I mean, in compared to the microservice application deployed in the Docker environment.
Yeah, one is the very less downtime with the help of Docker, and other one is a better visibility, better use of logs, and all the better things you will be going to get. If any problem appears in your application, you can easily find out the problems. So such kind of functionalities you're going to get with the Docker, but but not with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 minute, Ramdev here. When it is going to start batch the actual course? I mean that today is the demo. Huh?
Yes,
Today
yes. Today is a demo, and the actual course will be going to start, like labs and everything will be going to start from the next week. And today is the last day for the demo. Okay.
okay, that's all. Can I? I'm interested on this. Can you share the course curriculum here, if you don't mind?
Yes, so I can share you that. 1 second.
It's 8 to what is the timings? 8 to 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 to 10 to 10:30. Yeah, 8 to 10 you can consider. Let me put it in chat.
Yes, please. But by doing the Docker, right, you are
Yeah.
going to start in the VMware or which cloud
We are going,
computer?
we are going to start in the AWS. So we are going to create a virtual machines in the AWS console, and we are going to do there.
Okay, only AWS, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
only AWS.
So
Nothing.
what's the difference between VMware and what is VMware? I mean, if you just go back to the previous diagram,
1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
the three-layer architecture diagram of the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hypervisor layer is replaced by Docker here. So what's the basic difference between these two?
No, it's not hypervisor layer is replaced by Docker. I have taken individual VM. Okay, so hypervisor is still there on the physical machines. Okay, so this virtual machine inside
No, on
VM.
the right side picture I'm saying where you have introduced Docker.
Yeah, that was I am saying. This small box inside it is that is called virtual machine. This individual box is taken as a big box here. That is virtual machine. This is not a physical machine. Okay, let's
Okay. Okay.
you get that right. So that physical machine will be there like this. Okay, outer layer on that virtual hypervisor will be still there. Okay, it is not replaced by the hypervisor. Docker is not replaced with the hypervisor. Okay.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So hypervisor will be still there even though you'll be using Docker, right?
Yeah, not only hypervisor. How the AWS people are going to use, there may be a different software also, but I have taken hypervisor as example. Okay.
Sorry, I missed it. Sorry, sir. Come again. In AWS?
In AWS, there are many virtualization softwares are there, right? Hypervisor, we have some of them, hypervisor, Hyper-V, or VirtualBox, or VMware, right? So AWS might have used VMware. Okay, all the same functionalities will be provided by that one. And I have, for an example, I have to taken this one, Hypervisor.
Okay. Okay.
Now, okay, and one more time, I'm mentioning. So today is the last class for demo. After discussing with the DurgaSoft, and they are like they have forced me to take the last demo today. And yeah, let's go further. Okay, so yeah, now, okay, so let me.
Shiva, one more thing I just want to ask you.
Yeah.
So in this, are we covering helming also, or how it is?
Yes, Helm charts are covered.
Okay. So through Docker images, pushing through Docker images, right?
Docker is different, Helm is different. Helm comes with the Kubernetes actually.
Okay. Okay.
Kubernetes.
Okay.
It's a package managed for Kubernetes.
So we will be doing that in the sense we will be taking the existing ones, or we will be creating new Helm charts or something.
First, I will be creating a new Helm charts. Okay.
Okay.
For example, so what are the different functions and conditions, or like I am going to use them, and I will show to you for a simple example. I'm going to show to you, and then we will take the existing one. I'll show you how the structure will be there.
Okay. And other thing, like for this course, do we need to have any knowledge on programming or something like that?
Not required yet. Okay, so this course you should only have the knowledge on YAML syntax. That also we are going to discuss. That is simple declarative syntax. Okay, list and YAML. Okay, so that's programming is not exactly required, I mean to say.
Okay. And other thing, like, are we covering any CI/CD pipelines also in this? Like for an, I mean, what you call examples or something like that, how we deploy the Docker images to AWS or any other platform?
No, it is not covering, but
Okay.
if you are interested, I can show you the pipeline. I can explain you the Jenkins declarative pipeline, so that it will be clear for you how we will be creating Docker images, and I will be pushing to Docker registry, and how we will be like how the pipeline will be there. So I can show you as an example, but not detailed thing. Okay.
Okay. And other thing, like this course will be for the entire course, like it will be the same timing or any changes in the time?
No. Same timings will be there. There may be fluctuations in the same timings, but same timings will be there. Like sometime our class may be for 1 hour only, but it will not all the time. Okay, next weekend there may be a class of 1 hour only. So after that we will be going with the same time. Okay, so no change of timings will be there.
And duration?
Duration is let's consider 5 minimum and 8 is maximum.
So, I don't understand. Like
5 weekends is minimum.
5 weeks. Okay.
8 weekends is maximum.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So from next week onwards, like it will be a 1 hour duration of class, or
only next week only, not all the weeks, only next week. Okay, that's is planned by DurgaSoft because a new batch is going to come, which is meant to this batch, so that it will be a full-fledged batch. Okay, only next week, not all the weeks.
So next week will be a demo again, or a paid member?
For you regular classes, for the other people demos will be there.
Okay, so still demo it will be, right?
For others, not you people. For you regular classes will be going on. Like 1 hour I told, right? For you, that 1 hour class will be going on for you.
Then demo for who's all for demo?
They have planned a new batch. Okay. For them, I'm going to take a demo.
so for us the timing will be 8 o'clock, right?
8 o'clock only. Your timings will not be changing. Okay? Your timings will not be changing. Their timings only will be changing to 8 o'clock in the future.
Okay.
Okay, and after that week, it will be 2 hours only, right?
Yes, 2.5 hours. Yeah, like that only. Okay.
And this 1 hour will be compensated later on, right?
Yes, yes, true. You are true. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now this is the Docker, how it is evolved, and that are the different discussed, and that's a virtualization. But this virtual machine which I have discussed here, okay, the virtual machine that I have here will be created on top of AWS accounts in the AWS cloud. Okay, so we will not create this anywhere. We are not going to install any virtual box or virtual machine, or we are not going to do in our local machines. Okay, sometimes if the visibility purpose, I may use my local machine, but in your case use your AWS accounts to do this. Okay, so that's the thing, how to create an AWS account. Let me show you that first. Okay, now go to your browser, aws.amazon.com. You go to this aws.amazon.com.
One minute, Shiva. In the AWS, I had that cluster implementation. Is it working in the Kubernetes? When they told, I had that the AWS is not supporting on that. Only Google only. Whether it is correct?
Which
Cluster implementation?
cluster creation you mean to say?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, cluster creation is also there with the AWS. You can also create cluster with AWS.
Oh,
Yes.
but it's
Sir,
possible.
today which all topic will be covered
Which
in
one?
terms of demo? Today, which all topics you are going to cover in terms of demo?
In terms of demo, I'm going to cover the AWS account creation, and I am going to cover you the how to create a virtual machine in the like in the cloud, and how the Docker, what are the different components of Docker we have.
Okay, virtual machine in the sense EC2 instance, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, fine.
Any questions, please?
Oh, no, no.
Okay.
Shiva, within 5 weeks, it is going to complete, right? Everything on that, we are believing on you. That's why I'm asking you. All the topics you are going to cover, right?
Yes, 5 to 8 weeks. Not only 5 weeks. I mentioned 5 to 8 weeks. It is going to complete.
Okay.
Okay. So let's sign into the console. Okay. So click on this sign into the console. Uh, one sec. One sec. Yeah, now let me go here and click on create a new account. Okay, you should have unique email address to create a new AWS account. Okay, so click on this. Oh, why my internet is slow? One second. So you should have unique email address, and you need to give the AWS account name and verify email address. Just it will ask for like username or the first name, last name, some details. And the complex thing, like the important thing that will ask is your AWS, like your bank account. So if for the verification purpose, and it will detect some 2 rupees from your bank account, and it will recredit again after that, after account creation. And I don't have any unique email address as of now. So it is as simple as creating your Facebook or Insta account. So just fill your details, whatever is required, and go further. It is going to have 4 to 5 steps, and yeah, it is going to ask your bank account, as I already told you. And then you click on sign up, and then that account will be created. And it takes 24 hours. Actually, the officially they told like 24 hours, but it will be activated before 24 hours only. If you want your account to be immediately activated, so you can contact AWS support. Okay, so that they will be activating your account immediately. So that's the thing. Once you create your account, click on sign into the existing account. Okay, so one sec. Oh, what happened? One second. Okay, click on sign into the console. So there are two types of users. One is root user and the IAM user. You do not select IAM user, click on root user, because IAM user is for the other account. So let's not discuss about the AWS things. Click on root user and select the next item, like click on next and click on sign in, and enter your password which you have selected, which you have created, which you have used in the creation of your account. So sign in, click on sign in. Okay, this is your AWS console that we call it as. Okay, this is your AWS console. Okay, there are many services, there are hundreds of services that is offered to us by the AWS people. These are the different services that we have in the AWS. Okay, so in these services, so let's quickly go through you the console. So we have different regions. Okay, North Virginia, Ohio, and California, or like or John and Mumbai. So I am going to use Mumbai region. Okay, you first, after logging into the console, click on this here and click on the Mumbai region here, and you will be switched to your Mumbai region. Okay, so now it may be like you need to regularly check the cost of your account. Okay, go to DevOps here, like you are, if you, for you, in your case, there will be a different account name here that is selected when your account is created. Okay, so click on here and go to billing and cost management, click on this one, and yeah, what happened to this? 1 second, 1 second. Okay, there is a, we apologize for the inconvenience, and working resolve the problem as soon as possible. There is a problem with this actually from the AWS side. You can see it here, they have mentioned it here. And how you can see it here is, okay, let me go to services, let me go back to the console again, and let me log in next and sign in. Okay, you can use this cost and usage here. You can use this cost and usage. Your bills will be shown here. Okay, your current month's bills will be shown here. You can see my bills are being shown here actually. So last month, current month, okay, average month cost. So something it will be shown here. Please regularly use this dashboard to check your bill amounts actually. So so that you will not be surprised a later point of time that bill is, this much bill is happening. Okay, so that's the thing. Now for this, you need to go to AWS EC2 machines. Okay, go to EC2 service, one of the service in AWS. Click on how you need to go through that. So you, in the search bar, search for EC2, click on the EC2 machine service. Okay, so now in the left hand menu, there is some service inside the some sub service, I mean to say, something called key pairs. Okay, key pairs, click on this key pairs. Okay, so in this key pairs, I have different key pairs that are there with me. Okay, there are different key pairs that are there with me, but in your case, no key pair will be there, because if your account is first time you are created account, so in your case, there will be no key pair. Now click on create a key pair, click on that. Okay, give your key pair a name. Why this key pair is required? First of all, why this key pair is required? This key pair is kind of a password or a secret to log in into the virtual machines actually. So you need to create a key pair, and while creating virtual machine, you need to attach this key pair to the virtual machine, so that you can be logging in to your virtual machine. So enter the key pair name. Let me give any name, like .pem, like click on this pem key. Okay, so just click on create key pair. Okay, create a key pair. Okay, so that's it. Okay, your test key pair will be created. So let's think this is a key pair will be created. It will ask us to download a file. When you click on create a key pair, please download that file, okay, and that contains a secret. Okay, so that is a, like, you should not share that file with anyone and keep it in a safe place. Okay, so this is the secret. Okay, this is a key pair that we have created in our AWS account. Okay, now after creating a key pair, go to instances. Okay, go to instances section. Okay, go to instances section. So in the instances, in my case, there is an instance named test. Okay, there is an instance named test. Instance, EC2 machine, virtual server, everything are same. Okay, everything are same. Okay, instances. Now launch instance. Okay, launch instance. Okay, once you click on launch instance, it will ask you for enter different things. Actually, now give instance a name. Let me give instance name as Docker. Okay, I want to use Ubuntu operating system. Okay, let's click on this. You can use any other operating system. I want to use Ubuntu operating system because every industry, like every organization, will be using Linux operating systems, okay, to deploy their applications. Okay, so I want to use Ubuntu operating system. Now in this, like, you each and like in this thing, Ubuntu operating system, you have different capacity of the things. Actually, I am using T2.micro, that is free tier. Okay, you can see it here, free tier eligible. Okay, so in this I'm using like T2.micro. Okay, so just do not select anything here. Once you selected Ubuntu, do not modify anything, just go down. Okay, now this is the T2.micro. What is the, like, with this T2.micro, how much amount of CPU and how much amount of memory you are going to get with your virtual machine is 1 CPU you are going to get, 1 GB memory you are going to get. Okay, so now that's the thing. Now you have created a key pair in the previous section, right? Now click on this checkbox, like click on this drop down list box. So now select your key pair which you created. I have many key pairs, but in your case, if it key pair is only one, just click on that key pair. Okay, that means your key pair got selected. Now do not change anything in the network settings. First time if you do, you do, like, you do not change anything, but I will be changing to select an existing group. I don't want to create a new security group. I want to use the select an existing security group. But in your case, if you are a new, do not select that. Okay, so, or you can also do this and select a default security group. Okay, so you also do this. Okay, select an existing security group. You will be finding, once you selected this select an existing security group, you will be finding something called default security group. Once you click on this drop down list box, you will be finding default security group. Select that security group that is displayed as a default security group. Okay, now this is the storage that you need to configure. This is a like storage you need to configure to your virtual machine. There are different types of storage like GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2. So there are different things, but use this GP2 only for our less cost. Okay, so this is, I am using 8 GB of storage and GP2 type of storage. Now do not modify anything other than this. What are the things you need to modify? Give a name and Ubuntu operating system, and put it as it is, and select your key pair and click on select existing security group. Click on default security group, and then storage also as it is. Only these things you need to modify. Do not modify anything, and click on launch instance. Okay, launch instance. Okay, so your instance or virtual machine got created. Okay, this is the virtual machine that got created, and it's in pending state. You can see that pending state is there. Okay, it's in pending state, and it is it should come 2x2 health checks passed, and we can log in into that EC2 machine. Okay, now click on this virtual machine and go down. This will be showing, click on this checkbox. This will be showing you different details of your virtual machine. What's the public IP address of your virtual machine is this one. Private IP address is this one. So that's a different thing. Instance ID, that means virtual machine ID. Okay, so these are the different things that comes under AWS. These are the different things that will be shown. You can see your key pair will be showing here, key pair test. Okay, so something like that. And the security part, okay, this is a security part, and you can also see security group's name here. And you have selected default security group while creating your EC2 machine, right? So that default security group will be shown here. Okay, so you need to change the rules in your default security group. If you are creating for a first time, I already changed, I will show you when the time comes. Okay, so this is a default security group. Let it complete creation. Now it is in running state. You can see it as previously it is in pending state, and now it is in running state. Okay, now it is in running state. Now how to connect? See, connecting to your virtual machine can be done in different ways. If you are using Mac operating system, you can connect using SSH, and if you are using Windows operating system, you can connect using like one putty or different softwares you can connect. But I am I will tell you I will be telling you the common way for everyone. Just click on the checkbox which you want to connect, and click on connect, and click on connect. That's it. Do not change anything here. Yes, it's client or session manager or anything. You do not change it. Let it be on EC2 instance connect. Click on connect. Okay, you will be connected to your virtual machine. Okay, let's wait. Okay, okay, here you got connected to your virtual machine. You can see here I am using Ubuntu 22.04.3 LTS version. Okay, so this is also all related to that one. Clear the screen. Okay, now you are inside the virtual machine. This is how you can able to connect to your virtual machine. Okay, you are, if you see, this is the user. Okay, Ubuntu is the user. This is a IP address. This is a public private IP address, I mean to say. The IP address start with 172, that is private IP address. So this IP address is private IP address. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. This is how you need to log in to the virtual machine. Now sudo su hyphen. Okay, now I have switched to the root user. Okay, root user. We have two types of users. Okay, normal user and root user. Normal user will be having some permissions. Root user will be having entire permissions. Okay, that means whatever he want to do, he can do in the virtual machine. You can see when I have switched to root user using this sudo su hyphen, something called root has been come here, and the hash symbol has been come here. That means it represents I have switched to root user. Okay, now okay, now if you see a systemctl status, okay, docker. Okay, this is the command to check the status of the docker. Okay, this is a command to check the status of the docker. Now if you see this, the docker service could not be found. That means docker is not installed on this virtual machine. Okay, this is an instance or virtual machine or the different things. Okay, the instance. Okay, so all are same. The docker is not installed on this virtual machine. Okay, now if you like create docker also, you can see it will show you some of the things. It is not installed. Let me clear the screen. Now I have collected the commands, okay, to install docker. Let me go through that and install docker in your virtual machine. 1 second. Let me go to my drive and docker. Where is that? Okay, yeah, this one. So yeah, that's the thing. These are the different commands that you need to use. Just execute one by one command. Update the packages in the virtual machine. Just update that. Okay, sudo apt update -y. Okay, these are just the installation commands that is given to us by docker. Let it complete. It is updating the packages. Okay, yeah, it got completed. And next command you need to execute. 1 second. Where is that?
After we are paying the fee, you are going to give this one, right? Documents.
Documents I'm going to give. Okay, just execute sudo apt update -y, all these things one by one.
These are not required to learn that one, right? Copy and paste it in that one.
That's because this is just an installation. Okay. You don't have to do that. So you can see clear the screen, all the things were installed and Docker is installed. You can see systemctl, okay, systemctl status Docker, okay, Docker. Okay, now you can see Docker is in active state and running state. You can see it should be here, systemctl active and running. It will be there if you use these commands, and if you install, the Docker will be running and in active state. Now this is how you need to install Docker. Let me clear the screen one second. Okay, clear the screen. Okay, now if you use a Docker, okay, Docker, it will be showing you the some of the suggestions that you can use. Okay, now that's the thing. Okay, this is a Docker installation that I want to show you. Now what are different components? What are the different terminologies that we have with the Docker? Let me put it here one by one terminology, because I need to explain the terminology, not to like later. One second. Let me explain the terminology. 1 second, please. It is this one. Okay, now there are different terminologies in Docker. Okay, now what is first terminology? That is Docker host. Okay, Docker host. What is Docker host? Why we call it as Docker host? Okay, now Docker host is something where we install Docker. Okay, here on this virtual machine we have installed Docker, right? So this is called Docker host. Okay, the machine on which we install Docker is called Docker host. Okay, Docker host. Okay, the second thing is Docker image. Okay, Docker image. What is Docker image? Okay, what is Docker image? Why we call it as Docker image? Suppose if you want to play any game, okay, if you want to play any game, you are going to download that game from internet, right? You are going to download some file called .exe file. Okay, that game, the exe file related to that game, right? So what that file internally contains, the game application it contains internally. When you double click on that file, that game will be running state, that you can play the game, right? In the same way, Docker image is also like kind of binary. Okay, it's a binary or a static thing in which our application will be present but not in running state. Okay, our application will be there inside that, but it will be not in running state. Okay, so that is Docker image. Docker image is a it's kind of binary. Okay, 1 second, let me put that one here. Binary where our application will be present and not in running state, that it is not in running state. Okay, that is Docker image that we call it as. Okay, that is Docker image. Okay, now next thing is Docker container. What is the meaning of Docker container? Docker container, okay, container means in our regular life. Okay, what is container? Container is used to transfer a goods from one place to another place. Okay, right? Container. Okay, so 1 second, images. Okay, these are different containers that we have, which is used to place, in which what will be there, our goods will be there, right? So in the same way, container means our application will be there, but it will be in running state. But in the image, our application will be there, but it not in running state. It cannot accept the traffic which is in coming from the users. But our application there will be in the, like in the container, our application will be there, and it will be in running state. Okay, that is our Docker container that we call it as. Okay, in the Docker terminology, where our application will be in running state. Okay, our application will be in running state actually. So that's a Docker container, okay, in which our application will be in running state. What is the next terminology that I want to tell you people is Docker daemon. Okay, what is Docker daemon? Docker daemon. Okay, what is Docker daemon? Okay, Docker daemon is a background process. What's a daemon in operating system terminology? Daemon is a background process that is running, right? So in the case of Docker also, there will be some background process which will be continuously listening for our requests actually. So that is called daemon, a background process, a background process that is uh, running and belongs to Docker. Okay, that is Docker daemon actually. So that is called Docker daemon. Okay, these are four terminology. And the next terminology that we have is Docker registry. Okay, Docker registry. Okay, Docker registry. Now what is Docker registry? Suppose we have created a Docker image out of your application. To store that Docker image, we need some place, right? That place is called Docker registry. Okay, so there are two types of Docker registries we have in case of Docker. One is private Docker registry. Okay, let me put it here, private Docker registry. Okay, one is private Docker registry, and the other one that we have is public Docker registry. Okay, let me put it here. Okay, this is the public Docker registry. In the private Docker registry, what's the difference between this private Docker registry and the public Docker registry? Docker registry is used to store the images. Okay, but what the difference between this public Docker registry and the private Docker registry? The difference is, if you store your image in the private Docker registry, only your organization, or you, or who has the access to the private Docker registry, only will be able to access the images present in the private Docker registry. Okay, now let me put it that one here. People who has the access will only be able to access the images okay, people who has the access will only be able to access the images. Access to registry will only be able to access the images in this registry actually. So that's a private Docker registry. What is public Docker registry? Public Docker registry means if you store your image in the public Docker registry, anyone in the world, anyone in the world can able to access these images that you stored in the public Docker registry. Anyone in the Okay, that is public Docker registry. So there are two types of Docker registries. One is private Docker registry and public Docker registries. So anyone in the, if you use public Docker registry to store your images, your image will be stored, your image will be accessible for anyone in the world. But private Docker registry, who has the access, can only be stored in the like can only be you like can only be accessed by the people who has the access to that registry only. That is private Docker registry that we have. Okay, so for example, in the case of AWS, the private Docker registry is ECR. Okay, ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So that is a private Docker registry that we have. What's a public Docker registry? Public Docker registry is hub.docker.com. Okay, if you go here, hub.docker.com, if you go here, this is the public Docker registry. How you can create an account, I'll show you later. Okay, now go here, that is public Docker registry. Now the next thing is the Docker client that I need to tell you. Docker, okay, Docker client. Okay, so what is Docker client? The place where you are running, okay, the place from the place where you are running your Docker commands is called Docker client. Your Docker client, from you will execute the commands of Docker from the Docker client. That Docker commands will be listened by Docker daemon. Now what is Docker client? Docker client is the place where you are running, you are executing your Docker commands. Okay, that is called Docker client. Okay, Docker commands is called Docker client actually. So that is Docker client. So these are the different terminologies that we have in case of Docker, and some other also there, but when it time comes, I'll also tell you that. Okay, now how to, any questions here please before going further? Any questions anyone has?
No, these are the components, huh? Docker host, Docker image.
Yes, these are the components. We will go through the architecture diagram of Docker. That time it will be like how they are structured together. When they all comes together, how they will be there, you will be, these are the different components. You are right. Or terminology, you can also call it as.
Okay, just wanted to ask one thing, that under what kind of, images do you think that we need to put under the Docker, public Docker registry?
Yeah, because see, what kind of images means, that's your choice. Okay, if you want to allow everyone to access that image, you can put that image in the public Docker registry. But your organization is there, right? So your organization images should not be, your organization application should not be used by anyone in the world, right? So that should be kept private, right? So that kind of images will be stored in the public registry for your practice, right? For your practice, you will not consider that if anyone in the world can also access it, that's no problem for you, right? The such kind of images can be put in the public Docker registry. So there is no particular thing, that's entirely your choice to put in a public Docker registry or private Docker registry. It's not something like that's, you can decide where to put it. Based,
Can you give one example, what kind of images we can put in a public Docker registry?
see, any images which you created, your organization images also can be put in the public Docker registry. Okay, but you will not put that because that is private to your organization. Okay, you can, if you develop user management service in your organization that manages users with the help of roles and different things. Okay, so that image that belongs to your organization, so can also be put on the public Docker registry, but we will not do that because that is private to your organization. Okay, that can be put on both ways. Okay, public Docker registry and private Docker registry. So you will only put that image on the private Docker registry but not in public Docker registry. Okay, the public Docker registry, okay, will be the images in the public Docker registry will be accessible to anyone in the world. So that's the reason why you'll not put on the public Docker registry. For your example, okay, for your example, you have practiced some application, you have developed some application, and that is application is working well, and you want to store the public Docker registry, you want to store that in the public Docker registry so that anyone can use your application. That kind of example related images you can store in your public Docker registry. Okay, but not the organization ones.
So public Docker registry means anyone can pull the image from the public Docker registry.
Yes, yes. Anyone in the world can pull the image. Who has that? Yeah, anyone can in the world can able to pull the image. Who use the Docker? That's entirely your choice to store the image whether in public Docker registry and the private Docker registry. If you want to keep your application safe and secure and it should not be accessible to anyone in the world, you should keep that in. You should like upload that to the public Docker, private Docker registry, but not in public Docker registry. That's the thing. Okay, so that's the thing. So if you have any questions, you can ask or let's go further.
But next week onwards, you are going to start, right?
Yeah, next week onward, we are going to start the lab.
Look.
Yeah. Now here, how to create an account here. Okay, how to create an in the public Docker registry account. Okay,
Can I drop off that this one we can discuss? Okay. This one account creation, right? Docker data.
yeah,
How much time it will take?
just it will take it's 2 to 3 minutes. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now click on sign up. Okay, click on sign up. Okay, you can also use the auth. Okay, you to log into your AWS like this one Docker account and give your email address and the username and the password and click on sign up. Then your account will be created, and after the creation click on sign into the account. Okay, click on sign into the account. Okay, just give this details and it will be uh, logging into the account. Now this is my account where I have stored all these images actually. So all there are these are different images which I have stored into my account actually. So these are all images that I have stored. If you want, all these images are public images only. That means anyone in the world can able to access my images. So this is public. You can see the right side, public, public. Okay, private. Okay, so in per account, if you create an account, you can only create one private image only. Okay, you can only create one private image per account. If you want to create more than one private images per your account, you need to purchase that options. You need to purchase. You can go to my account and do purchase. Okay, I don't suggest that. Okay, because why to purchase? Here we can store. If you want to use the really private Docker registry, you can use ECR, but yeah, nothing required like that for this course. Okay, so only one private image is used. You can create only one private image. As of now, I have created this one as private image ubuntu-volume, right? That's the thing. Now, so all the other images are public images. You can see here all the other images are public images. You can see here. Now if you click on explore in the top, like here. Okay, click on explore. Okay, you can find all the different public images. Okay, you can see redis is a public image, busybox. Okay, you can see alpine. Okay, so something like let me show you nginx also. These are in nginx. Okay, you can see this is a nginx. Okay, you can also use mysql. Okay, mysql is a database. That's a image is there. Now if you see tomcat. Okay, tomcat. Okay, you can see tomcat image is also there. Now mongodb. Okay, mongodb and mongo express images are there. So something like that. So these are the different images that is given to us by those people only. We like these are the different images. What these images contains? Their functionality, their application it contains. Suppose what is this yeah, mongo image contains that mongodb application it contains, but it is not in running state. If you want this to be in running state, then you need to download the image, this image, and you need to run that image. So that becomes a docker container. This is a docker image. Okay, these are docker image. Okay, that's a thing actually. So these are all public images. Okay, these are all public images. images. Now if you click on any one of the image, click on this Mongo image. Okay, click on Mongo image. This will show different details of that image. Okay, what is Mongo security, how to use it. Okay, these are the different details that you will get in this details of the detail section of the Mongo Docker image. Now if you go to the important section, here should be the tags. Okay, if you go to tags, okay, go to tags. Okay, now what are these tags? Okay, latest tag, okay, 5.0.25 hyphen focal tag. Okay, these are different tags that we have with this Mongo image. What this tag represents is the different versions of the MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. So there are, see, your applications will be also containing different versions, right? In the same way, MongoDB also contains different versions. Each and every tag represents that version actually. So there will be a extra functionality will be there in the versions. Okay, so reduction or the adding of extra functionality will be there if you go to the different versions. Actually, the latest version is this one, latest tag. You can see that. Okay, these are the different tags that we are going to use. Actually, if you want to download any particular tag also, you can download. I want to download the MongoDB version 5.0.25 hyphen focal. Okay, you can only download that version. I want to download the latest version only, you can also download that one. I want to download this version 5.0.25, you can also download that one. So different versions will be mentioned as tags. Okay, different versions of the applications will be mentioned as tags in case of Docker. Okay, these are the different versions that we have. Okay, that's the thing. Now yeah, this is a account creation. Okay, this is account creation, and these are things that we have with the Docker registry. Now how to download this image? Let me go to Nginx is a Docker image that we have. Okay, Nginx is a Docker image that we have. How to download this Nginx image? Now go to your EC2 machine. Okay, I have been to your Docker host. Okay, now I'll call Docker host and I'll not call EC2 machine. Okay, now where our Docker is installed is called Docker host, right? So I will call this as Docker host. Now how to download that Nginx image with Docker? Now we have something called command docker pull. We have docker pull nginx is a command. Now it will be pulling, it will be downloading the image from the Docker registry. Okay, Docker is automatically configured to download the image from hub.docker.com actually. So that will get downloaded. You can see the Docker image named Nginx got downloaded. Now if you see here, what is the tag it got downloaded? Docker images. You can see, if you want to list all the Docker images, you need to use Docker images thing here. Now what is a tag it got downloaded? It is downloaded latest tag. It downloaded the latest tag. That means the latest version of the Nginx application got downloaded. This is a tag that is latest. Okay, now if you want to download the different version, I want to download this version. Okay, now I'll just copy this version, the tag name, and go here. Now docker pull nginx, docker pull nginx, and the tag name you need to give here. That will download that version of nginx. You can see that is being downloaded, like, yeah. Now this version of nginx gets downloaded. Now Docker images, if you type, you can see nginx has been downloaded 2 times. One is latest, and this is the second version of nginx. That means that one. Okay, if you use docker pull nginx without any version to the right, that means it downloads the latest version. Okay, latest version of nginx. If you give any particular version, how to give a version while downloading the nginx image? In docker pull nginx colon tag name. That means that will download that particular tag version onto your Docker host. Actually, you can see the difference of size between the tags. Okay, the latest version has 187 MB of size, but the nginx, version with the tag, this one has 78 MB of size. That means this version has been reduced by some functionality. That is why it is very less in size actually. So that's the thing. So depending on the version of that application, you are going to get the functionality of that application actually. So this is how you can able to download the image into your Docker host. Okay, now what is happening internally when you download a particular image onto your Docker host? Okay, what is internally happening actually? So now let me go you through the architecture diagram of Docker. Okay, let me go you through that. Okay, now there are multiple components in case of Docker. We have, okay, one second, let me put that line here. now now no Let's go through the Docker architecture. Okay, let's go through the Docker architecture and combination of components. Okay, Docker architecture. Docker architecture. Now we have different components or different terminologies in Docker, right? How they are put together as a Docker architecture. Let's consider that. Okay, now there are multiple components I have told you. Now one component that we have is Docker client. Okay, this is, let's think this as Docker client. Okay, let me put it here.
You want to cover now only Docker architecture?
Yes, this is a theory one that's I want to cover now. And yeah, that's the thing. Okay, Docker client. Okay, this is the Docker client component that we have. What is Docker client? From where we execute Docker commands is called Docker client. Okay, that is Docker client. Now this is my EC2 machine or Docker host. This is the Docker host that I have discussed, right? This is the Docker host. Now this Docker client is, in our case, this Docker client is part of Docker host only. It's a terminal which we are executing Docker commands is part of Docker host only. Okay, so I have taken, for simplicity purpose, I have taken a separate things here. But yeah, this Docker client is also part of Docker host. Okay, now this is Docker host. Okay, Docker host. Okay, this is Docker host. Now the other component that we have is Docker registry. Okay, the other component that we have is Docker registry. Okay, one second, Docker registry. Okay, this is the Docker registry. Now from where you are executing the Docker commands is called Docker client. Where we have installed our Docker is called Docker host, and the storage where we store our Docker images is called Docker registry. Now we inside this Docker host there will be something called Docker daemon running inside that. Let me take this one is Docker daemon. Okay, this is called Docker daemon that is running. Let me put it here, Docker EMON. This is running inside the Docker host. This is Docker daemon. That's a background process. Daemon is something called background process that is running. Okay, Docker daemon is running in the background. Right now, what command we have executed? Right, we have executed Docker full nginx command we have executed, right? From the Docker client here we have executed just now, right? Docker pull nginx. You can see here we have executed Docker pull nginx. Now what it internally happened, right? Your request from the Docker client is listened by the Docker daemon. Okay, your request from the Docker client is listened by the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon has checked whether the Docker nginx is present in the Docker this on the Docker host or not. Okay, whether the nginx is present on the Docker host or not. It has not found that nginx on the Docker host. It did not found the nginx on the Docker host because nginx image is not there on the Docker host. Now what it did is it got connected. It just connected to the Docker registry and downloaded the nginx image to the Docker host. Okay, it downloaded the nginx image to the Docker host nginx. Okay, it downloaded the nginx image to the Docker host, like from the Docker registry. Now Docker, sorry, Nginx image, let me put as that one, Nginx image, right? Now we have executed this command. This is the internal process that is happening actually. Our Docker client, when we have executed our command from the Docker client, our command is being listened by the Docker daemon, and Docker daemon, what is our request that we have sent to download Nginx image. Now our Docker daemon has been checked in our local Docker host whether the Nginx image is really present on the Docker host or not. If that is not present, then that will download the Nginx image from the Docker registry and stores that image on the Docker host. Okay, that's a how they are functioning together. Now if you want to run this Docker image, okay, clear the screen. How to run the Docker image? If you want to see now Docker images, you can see Nginx image and the Nginx with the different tags got downloaded. Now I want to run this Nginx latest tag. Now how to run that? Okay, Docker run, there are different flags that I don't want to confuse you now, and I don't want to use. I want to use only one flag, that is -d. Okay, so Docker, how to run the Nginx image? This is just an image in which our application is present, but it is not in running state. Okay, now how to run this Nginx image as a container is Docker run -d and the image name Nginx. Okay, image name is the Nginx. What's the image name? This is a Nginx. That's it. This is how you need to run the Docker. Okay, Docker actually run is a functionality that you want to perform. Nginx is the image name. -d means we call it as detached mode, that we call it as. I will be explaining you in the course what is -d, and the Docker is a command utility. Okay, so that's the thing. Now just click on enter. Your container will be in running state. Now you can see Docker container as well as you can see Docker container is in running state. Docker container is in running state. Now what happened when you run this, like when you execute this Docker run -d Nginx command? Now let's go to the diagram and understand what happened. Okay, now we have executed Docker run command from here. Docker run -d, we have executed Nginx. Okay, we have executed this command from here, and this command is listened by the Docker daemon. Let me put like this. Okay, this command is listened by the Docker daemon, and this Docker daemon has checked whether the Nginx image is present on the Docker host or not, and it found the Nginx image. Okay, it found it is already downloaded on the Docker host. Now what it does, it takes that Nginx image. Docker daemon has executed the Nginx container on the Docker host. This is Nginx container. Okay, let me put it as Nginx container. It has took this image which is already downloaded on the Docker host, and that image is being executed as a container by the Docker daemon. Now this is how they work together. Now images, if the image is not there, okay, now if you see now Docker images, if you see the Docker images, now there are only Nginx images, but I want to run Tomcat. If the image is not there, what the Docker does, let us see that. Okay, Docker run -d Tomcat is the image name that we have. Okay, Tomcat is the image name that we have. Tomcat is one of the Docker image. Okay, now is the image name, and the run is the functionality that you want to perform, and -d is the detached mode that is there. Detached mode I'll explain in the future, like, but as of now just think it's a detached mode. So Docker is a command line utility. Now this is the, click on enter. If you see here, the Tomcat image is not there. If you click on enter, just click on enter, it is downloading the latest image. So you can see here latest version of the Tomcat, because we did not mention any tag here, that is why it is downloading the latest. If you mention any tag, tag name, then that will download that version of the Tomcat. Okay, that's the thing. Now it is downloading. You can see now you can see Docker container ls. Docker container ls is the command to list all the running containers. Okay, that's a command to list all the running containers. You can see Tomcat is executed as a container. You can see if you don't give a name, okay, Docker gives some its own name. You can see some name it has been given to the container. Okay, how to give a name I will be telling you in the next class. But yeah, now how, like, just as we are discussing the Docker architecture, I have not given any name. Okay, now what happened if when we run docker run -d tomcat command? Now let me go to the architecture diagram and show you people. Now let me take this text box. Now go here, docker run -d tomcat. Okay, docker run -d tomcat. Okay, we have executed this command. Now this command is being listened by docker daemon. Okay, this command is being internally. Docker daemon listens our docker commands. Okay, docker daemon listens our docker commands, and docker daemon has checked whether the tomcat image is present on the docker host or not. Okay, whether the tomcat image is present on the docker host or not. But tomcat image is not found on the docker host. Okay, right, there is no tomcat image present on the docker host, right? Now what it did is it connected to the docker registry to download the tomcat image. Okay, there will be a tomcat image in the docker registry. Okay, this is the tomcat image that it downloaded to the docker registry, the docker host. From the docker registry it got downloaded to the docker host. This is a tomcat. Okay, tomcat. Okay, this is a tomcat image that got downloaded from the docker registry, and this tomcat image as and executed as a container by the docker daemon. Run represents executing the image as a container. Okay, this is the tomcat image that got executed as a container from the docker daemon. Okay, from the docker daemon. Okay, so that's how, if the image is not present on the docker host, when you execute that docker run -d tomcat is not present on the docker host, that will be detected automatically by the docker daemon, and that will download the image from the docker registry, and that will run as a container by the docker daemon only. Okay, that's how that functions. Okay, let me put this name as tomcat. Okay, tomcat. Okay, that's a docker architecture that we have. There are different components that we have: docker client, docker daemon, docker host, docker registry. So this is how they interact together, and that they will run our application, our docker images as containers in this manner. Okay, so that's the thing. There are many images in the docker registry. As of now, I took only nginx and the tomcat images only, because for our example only, I cannot write all the hundreds or thousands of images here. So that's the thing. So any questions you have with this architecture diagram?
Shiva, one more thing actually, see, you are downloading directly from the internet source, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but what if like, because in production environment, sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, most of the servers are not connected with internet. So in that case, like, is there any other option like where we can download offline and then we can pull, I mean, we can upload it through Docker image, Docker or something like that?
No, in the production environments, what will happen is that will
Mm-hmm.
not connect to the internet. Okay, your server, suppose let's think this is server. Okay, that is there in the production environment.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think, in case of AWS, we will be having something called IAM role. Okay, which will give permissions to the docker registry, and this is the docker registry that we have in the AWS account. This is something called ECR. Okay, ECR. Okay, let's think. ECR. Okay, Elastic Container Registry. This is a private registry. Only you can able to access, or the your I who has the permissions will be able to access this Docker registry. This IAM will be having the permissions which is attached to this server in the production. Will be having the permissions to access this ECR. Now, when you Docker when you want to run that application in the server, now what it will happen is it will connect to the ECR. It will connect to the ECR and download, because of the permissions that you given in the IAM which is attached to the server, that will download the image from the ECR, and that will run as an application on the server. Actually, that will not connect to the whatever it is. What they'll not connect to the browser. It will connect to the ECR, which is there in that AWS account only, and that will download that image from there, and that will run as a container in your server. Actually, so that will happen in the Kubernetes and the Docker also. Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, okay, thank you. And like versioning and all, like whatever we downloaded, that version will be taken from the ECR, right?
Yes, yes, you are right.
Yeah. So in order to update all the latest downloads or whatever softwares, so we need to update in ECR in case of no internet, right?
Yes, yes, in case of no internet, you need to update what are the latest application things you need to update in the ECR, so that will be downloaded from the there. Actually, that's the thing. You're right.
Okay, thank you. But usually in normal production environment, how it works? Like, does it work the same way, or is there any other methods like where we can upload the images?
No, uploading the images will be done by your Jenkins pipeline, or if you automate that one, that will be done by your Jenkins pipeline. Or if you did not
Sorry,
automate,
not upload, download. Like
downloading will be done by your machines only. It will not. It's like that only. Same way. Okay,
same
they
way.
yeah, same way. Servers will be having permission to connect to ECR, and ECR will be download from that ECR. Your application will be downloaded to the server.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to know, like, when you are accessing the Docker Hub, so you are actually accessing it on the top of AWS Ubuntu that we have installed the Docker instance, or it is this some other thing?
No, Docker instance is like from there only. You can see here, these are Docker instance. From here only, I'm accessing the Docker hub.docker.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one more thing is that while accessing that Docker Hub, so are we accessing to that Docker host or Docker registry actually, where we are actually able to see the all the public Docker images?
No, we are directly accessing the Docker hub, and yeah, this Nginx is being downloaded to the Docker host. Oh, where is that? It has been once again here. It is. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, just this will it will connect our Docker host will be connected to Docker hub. Okay, it will find the Nginx image name called Nginx, and that will download the latest version of the Nginx, and that will download on your Docker host. That's it. Okay, that will perform that only that. Okay, you can see that images.
No, my question is like while accessing that Docker Hub, are we actually pointing it to that Docker host or Docker registry?
Docker host or Docker registry, you mean to say? What is that? Can you repeat that question, please?
Docker host or Docker registry?
No, your Docker host will be connected to the Docker registry, and your Docker host will be downloading the image from the Docker registry.
So you are saying that while accessing that Docker Hub, what actually we are able to see that all the public images, it is available in the Docker host?
Yes, no. Public images are not available in the Docker host. That is why we downloaded the images from the Docker registry. Okay, that they are not present in the Docker host. Okay.
And that's why I'm asking, like while accessing to that Docker host, are we actually pointing it to the Docker host or Docker registry?
We are connected to Docker registry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you just go to that particular diagram that you have done?
Yeah.
So here, Docker daemon actually is the one actually who is responsible for pulling out that all the images if it is not available in the Docker base, right?
Yes.
I mean, if there is a request from the Docker team.
Yes.
So my question will be like, while Docker daemon maybe while pulling out that images from the Docker registry, so how that private Docker registry and the public Docker registry will plays a role in that
It
particular
will,
scenario.
it will differentiate. Okay, that has something called you need to perform if you want to perform, if you want to pull the image from the Docker private Docker registry, we have something command. You need to perform something called Docker login first. You need to perform that will be in the course that you need to perform Docker login. It will ask for your username and it will ask for your password, and then you can download the images from the private Docker registry. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, it will only download as of now. I did not tell you the private Docker registry, so as of now only it will download the images from public Docker registry only. That's the thing.
But we don't provide any particular command for that private registry. So how exactly the Docker daemon will act in that particular scenario? I mean, whether it will go first with the private Docker registry or public Docker registry.
No, it will go to, if you perform Docker login and enter your username and enter your password. Now if you want to pull the image from the private Docker registry, and you need to give there will be some account name here. If you go here, uh, click on this icon here, click on this icon, you will be having something called account name. Okay, now if you want to download the images from the private Docker registry after logging into the Docker, what you need to do is Docker pull. Okay, Docker pull, suppose there is an image called test in my private Docker registry. Now I need to give the account name. Okay, account name / test. Okay, so that Docker understands that it should connect to this private Docker registry and it should download the test image from that private Docker registry. Okay, so by this before slash, okay, by this this thing, this text before slash, this numbers before, this is account name that we call it as. So you need to give this account name to download the images from the private Docker registry. If you don't give this account name here, that will directly connect to the public Docker registry and that will download from the public Docker registry. If that image if that image, suppose you want to download the test image from the public Docker registry, you did not give any account name. If this test image is not present in the public Docker registry, you are going to get an error actually. So you can see Docker response from daemon pull access denied for test Docker login. This test image is not present. You can see here, go here, click on explore, and the image for test is not present. You can see it is asking for a login. What it is saying is, what is this error means is, like, it is not present in the public Docker registry. And if that test image is there in the private Docker registry, you perform Docker login and download the image. Okay, that's the meaning of this error message. So first it will connect to the public Docker registry only. If you give your account name here, okay, 80, yeah, then it will be connecting to you to this account, and that will download the test image from that account. Before connecting to this account, you need to perform Docker login, and it will ask for the username and password. You need to enter that, and you need to perform this execute this command, so that the test image, it will be downloaded from the private Docker registry. By default, it will connect to the public Docker registry only. That's the thing.
So again, like my question will be the first one, like if we are actually accessing by using the Docker Hub, what actually we are able to see that all the images are from the Docker host actually, which has been already pulled up from Docker registry, right?
No, Docker host is different. Docker, yeah, Docker
Yeah,
host.
yeah. My question will be again. So I will usually like this to know that if this is the scenario, like, so you mean to say that we also need to have the information like about the images also, right? I mean, whether
Yes,
it is being present at the public or private Docker registry.
yes, you need to have the information, then only you can able to download. If without,
Okay, so in that case, since by using the Docker Hub, we are actually pointing it to that, I mean, Docker post, right? Not the registry. Right. So is there any other command so that we can get an information about the images present in the public Docker registry or private Docker registry?
No. You should be able to know the where the images has been present and which what name and with what tag that images are being present prior itself, so that you will be able to download that images.
But there should be some command, right? I mean, if you need to like check whether that particular image is already been present at public or private Docker space, then otherwise we may get an error, right?
No. See, public Docker registry and private Docker registry will be differentiated by the account name I told you, right? So if you give the account name and the image name, that will download it from the private Docker registry. If you don't give the account name and the image name, if you only give the image name, that will be downloaded from the public Docker registry. That is a differentiation that I can tell you. But yeah, there you should have the prior information of the image and the version of the image, so that you can able to download that. Because the Nginx image is the latest, like all the time we use Nginx image, that I know that Nginx image Tomcat, some of the images I know, so that I will be able to download that. I'm telling you that to download the Nginx image, so you need to have prior information about the images that you will get downloaded. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and one more thing that I just wanted to ask, like, can we relate this one? I mean, that all the Docker, I mean, the images available in the Docker, can we relate those things into that, like services available in the marketplace in the cloud?
No, those are different. See,
No,
service.
just asking.
No. Services in the AWS marketplace are different, and the Docker is different, and you cannot relate both of them.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, so this is Prashant here.
Yeah. Hi, Prashant.
I have two questions over here. So it's clear for me about the Docker architecture and the commands what you use today. So here my question is that I just wanted to, can you go to the second slide, which is about that hypervisor and the Docker one?
You mean to go to the diagram or where it is?
Yes, diagram, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Not this one. This one is clear for me. The other one where you showed that how to create the virtual machine.
How to create a virtual machine?
I mean, hypervisor, that all diagram was there. Then
Oh,
on top of the OS, you have
that
that.
I have deleted. Okay, that guy deleted. You can see
Oh.
here. I have that email. Let me check that one whether that is there. No, that I have deleted. Okay, sorry for that. I have deleted. You ask question. I can.
Yeah. So here my question is that, so the commands what you use like pull image, that will only pull the image from the repository, that is Docker Hub repository, and it will just place it in the Docker host, right? So
Yes.
Docker host, which where the Docker has installed in the virtual machine, so that
Yeah.
we call it as Docker host. Here my question is that, so on the virtual machine and the diagram, what I can remember for now. So you just put it as OS, then on top of that Docker, then you just create one virtual machine kind of box and you put it as one CPU and 1 GB of RAM, right?
Yeah.
So here, while we using the command that is Docker run -d and images, so it's just creating the container, right?
Yes. Docker
So
run.
here,
Yes. Container.
yes. So while we creating the container, what exactly it has been doing on the Docker host? I mean, it is creating a small virtual machine, or what
No,
exactly
no,
the
no, no,
meaning?
no. It is not creating a virtual machine inside the virtual machine. Okay.
Okay.
It is, see, Docker run -d Tomcat is
Huh?
listened by the daemon, and it is pulling
Yeah.
the image for registry, and that is running as a container only. It is not creating any virtual machine inside the virtual machine. That container contains your actual application which is running. That is not an virtual machine. Okay. That's a container in which your application will be present. No, it's not a virtual machine.
It's
Okay.
like microservice.
Microservice. Yes.
Okay. Okay then. Okay, that's clear for me. Okay. Thanks you.
Thanks. Yeah, any questions have anyone? Yeah, actually this is for today, and today is the last day for the demos, and please go ahead and register for the course. And I want to, this is my responsibility to tell that. And if you have any questions, you can ask, or we will meet next weekend. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. And once you get registered, you will getting something called drive access, and I will also create a something called telegram group, so that you can able, you people can be able to join there, and we will continue further there. Okay.
Shiva, one more thing actually. So, do we have any limit for the batch? Like, because until unless some limit has been reached, then only the classes will be started or something, or it's good to go for the same, I mean, as a small batch also, it's fine for you. Like, is
It's
there any limit in the batch to
no,
start with?
no, it's fine for me, even one member join. Okay, I will
No, no,
not.
no. Why I'm asking this, because until unless people's, I mean, depends on the size, maybe they will start the batch, right? So that's why I'm asking. So there will be no delay in starting the this training, right?
Yes, no, there will be no delay. Yes.
Okay. And other thing like apart from this, like do we have any kind of like to start with, especially Docker? So do we have any documents, or or you will be sharing only these videos, or we have any specific documents where we can?
I will be sharing the videos will be uploaded to Drive, as you know, people already know, and
Mhm.
I will be sharing you the documents what we have discussed in the class, and some of the extra examples in the documents will also be shared to you, so that you can also verify that. Okay, or you can.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing I just want to request that whatever you are actually writing on a running note or doing some diagram architecture wise, if
Mhm.
you can save and share to us, then will be helpful.
Yes, yes, all these things, diagram or
The way actually you just now said that the previous diagram was being deleted by you. So just
yeah,
to,
that's just an example. Okay, yeah, but that is there with me. Okay, you can see that is there with
No,
me.
actually, I think that will be there in the video, I think, right? Maybe if you started the video, I think if you are sharing this video, I think it will be there, right, Shiva?
Yes, yes, it will be there in the video. It will be uploaded to YouTube.
no,
You can.
Yeah.
no, I mean, sometimes you just go through in a quick manner. So probably you may find a way to contain for us to like go through the doc as well. So just asking in that.
Yeah, that's okay. Actually, that's just an introduction video. All the things will be there in the document. Yeah, that will be there, as someone said. That will be there in the video, and this also will be there. This same diagram as I have explained.
Because see, I mean, what I'm just trying to say that video access also will be like for a particular period of month, right? Even if the course is being completed.
Yeah.
So after that, we need to have some documents, right? So if it will be architecture, whether it's a running node, so it will be helpful for us to for I mean, in any time. That's
Yeah, I understand your point, but yeah, sorry for that. I have deleted. Okay, that I'll be, if you want, I can again draw the diagram and share with you. But I note your
because
point.
even if we are accessing through that particular video, also you were saying that in the last class, I think it will be for 6 months, so 3 months kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So we may need for up to 6 months also. So that's
Yeah, yesterday diagram will be there for your lifelong, because that is uploaded to YouTube. The other things which are uploaded.
no, for today it's okay. I mean, to understand.
Yeah,
So just I'm requesting you to that from next class onwards, you just try to keep those things in the set so that you can get an access to that particular
sure,
document.
sure. I'll consider that point, and I'll make sure that. Thanks for suggestion. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Prashant. Yeah. One more time saying, this is the last class for the demo, and the timings will be same, 8 a.m. So next week, some fluctuations will be there, and after that week, there will be regular classes going on. That's it. That's it. I want to mention. Yeah, you can go ahead and register for the course. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining the session, and have a good day. And yeah, have a good week also. So thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.